All right, hello, and welcome to this update on the Long Island Railroad and also the weather. First, I'm going to talk about the trains. Now, Monday, Memorial Day, going back, we did have a problem that I'll just very briefly go over. A truck struck a bridge in East Hampton, which resulted in cancellation of a train that could have been very crowded. I didn't hear any reports of any overcrowding. But 733 from Montauk doing Jamaica was canceled because of this, and then the 836 did run as scheduled, but ran a little late and had to add stops because of that. I don't know why they couldn't have run both trains, and just had them run back to back, because I can imagine there must have been overcrowding unless they had buses available. And this is something that it's very hard to get buses out there because this is way out east, and this is why I think that the MTA really, and I've talked about this before, the MTA needs to take over Hampton Jitney. It would actually work out very well if the MTA took over Hampton Jitney. It's very overpriced. I know they want to gear to a certain clientele, but I think it needs to be merged into the public transportation system within our area. All right, so it wasn't too bad of a disruption. It did result in one train being canceled. I don't know why. Those bridges are made of solid iron. Nothing ever happens. I don't know why they have to. I know it's a safety thing. But let's get to what happened this morning. All right. There was a problem on the E and the F. And as a result of that problem, somebody unfortunately got struck by a train at 63rd Street. And so all train service along Queens Boulevard was suspended for a time during the morning rush, and it created a huge mess. And some Long Island Railroad trains were adding stops. However, according to what we read here, there was some dangerous overcrowding, and here's a picture of it. Some really dangerous overcrowding. It was a mess, and yeah, they should should have had more trains stopping there, and I think that they should have had all the empty flyers or the emptier flyers from the Babylon branch make a stop at Forest Hills, Kew Gardens, Forest Hills, and Woodside. They should have done that, but they didn't. And as a result, it was an overcrowded situation. I have a feeling all the trains they did have stopped there were already crowded to begin with because they weren't coming off the Babylon branch. I don't know exactly what trains were stopping there and what trains weren't stopping there. So this is just what I'm assuming. And then there was a signal trouble between Jamaica and Atlantic Terminal, or signal trouble west of Atlantic, and that resulted in other trains being canceled. Yeah, problems all over the system. Again, it was humid. And this humidity and the electronics of the signals don't work very well, as you know. So signal troubles continued throughout the morning rush, and then let's see, 7:39 a.m. from Long Beach due in Penn. It will be the last. All right, so that is. See, they had a train coming off of Long Beach. Why didn't they have any Babylon trains? I bet you none of the Babylon flyers accommodated those people because, well, they can't share the train. You know the way the snobs are. They don't want to share the train. Now, I'm just assuming here, so there's no proof of that. I'm assuming that's what happened. And then they had the temporary platforms during the day. And then, this is going on. I'm going to try to make this, again, Thursday night. I'm going to try to get there. I may not get there when it begins, but I will try to go there and at least be there for part of it. And then we had switch trouble west of Mineola. So problems on the main line. Switch problems and signal problems also at Mineola that I was wound up being caught in going back home actually tonight from Hicksville. Is this still from the bridge strike the other night? So I don't know, or this happened again. I don't know. And now this train here from Penn and Huntington, 53 minutes late, making a reverse move. Wow. So yeah, switch trouble in Mineola again. It's another one of those problem spots that Mr. Ring has to address. But then the Babylon branch wasn't completely immune from things either today. This train here was wound up being delayed due to signal trouble near Freeport. Signal trouble near Freeport again. All right. So again, the humidity affecting all the trains. It's humidity. That's what I'm gonna say. You know, the humidity seems to have something to do with it. Then we had medical assistance at Brentwood that delayed a train. And then more problems this evening. 6:53. Yeah, this happened. There was a cancellation on the Greenport line. That was replaced by buses. Hopefully not school buses. Hopefully not school buses. I mean, they got North Fork right there by Ronkonkoma, so I'm assuming they filled in. Hopefully, they weren't school buses. And the 754 had equipment trouble. And then here we go again with the signal trouble. 815 from Pendu and Ronkonkoma is 12 minutes late due to the signal trouble. 911 from Ronkonkoma, 13 minutes late. 857, this is the train I was on, going back from Hicksville. 10 minutes late. We were going very slow. It seemed like the problem was just past Carl Place. We were going about 5 miles an hour from Carl Place all the way to, and that train doesn't stop at Carl Place, but once we passed Carl Place, it started slowing to a crawl, and we were crawling all the way till about where we pass over Glen Cove Road. So this caused some minor delays here. And again, another bus service and temporary platforms. I don't think there's a Met game tonight. So that's what happened on the Long Island Railroad today. So, problems pretty much all over due to this unusual humidity we're having in May. That's what I think it is. So that is what we're going to be talking about next with the weather. All right, so we are going to look at the weather now. And fortunately today was not that hot across Long Island, but it was very humid. Fortunately, we didn't get into anything too bad with the heat, but it was just very humid. We'll look at the conditions at Farmingdale, which pretty much reflects the conditions across much of the island today. We did get up to around 80 degrees, but for the most part, we were in the 70s and dropping into the 60s with this evening. The issue was the high dew points, 65, 67. Very unusual to see such muggy weather in May. Very unusual to see that. And this is all due to climate change. All right, and I'll just show you another observation here. Show you Toms River. Now, it was hotter in Jersey today. It did not hit 90 there, but it still was very hot. It's also significantly more humid there as well. I'm trying to think, it's more humid there too. So not only is it hotter, but it's more humid as well. And again, it did get up to 86 there, so it was significantly hotter there. But look at the dew points: 72 degrees in Toms River, 72 degree dew point. Very oppressively humid. It should never get this humid at this time of the year. That's reserved for August and maybe July. But again, this is due to climate change. And if you look at the forecast, we're not going to be seeing the sun for a while. We're going to be playing with another stalled front. We've been playing with stalled fronts almost the entire month of May. The last decent day we had in May, I would say a decent clear day that we had that was comfortable, was May 1st. All right, so we're at the end of the month, and still we're dealing with this. And it's going to be stall front syndrome for us, too. Tomorrow we'll see the sun, and then we'll be back into the clouds again. Look at this. Every single day. Chance of showers every single day. When we look at the models, you'll see why. Anyway, we're going to look at the temperatures across our area here using the Wonder Map. And actually, I'm going to switch this over to dew point so you can see the humidity, how high it is. And again, really unusually, we have a backdoor cold front that's going to be coming through later tonight, which will give us the best day we're going to have tomorrow with some sun and dew points that will be lower. And let me put the sea surface anomaly on here. Yep, you can see that warm water again. Above normal water across much of the Atlantic there, all above normal. So, yep, that's what we're dealing with, folks. And look at how oppressive these dew points are. It's really unheard of to see this kind of humidity. But this is all due to the, situation we're dealing with our climate. Okay, so we're going to look at the models here, GFS, and you'll see nothing much is going to change in the next, there is a new run coming in, but I barely have anything of it. So I was hoping the one from 18 to Z, May 29th. So, see, we have that high trying to build in and give us some sunshine tomorrow and some dry air. That goes away. We got this huge ridge in the Atlantic that's been a headache all month long. This ridge here is due to climate change. This highly anomalous ridge. It's due to man-made global warming. Whether you want to, somebody posted this like they're geoengineering the climate. I don't know if that's what's going on, but I think due to the added carbon dioxide in the air, this is what's going on. 95% of scientists, or the great majority of scientists, agree this is why the climate is changing, and it's getting more humid. It's getting more humid because of it. That's why we have this anomalous ridge. That's why we have this flow coming right out of the tropics all the way up the east coast. And we have the remnants of Alberto, subtropical storm Alberto, that might wind up bothering us for the weekend. So it'll be another gloomy stall front syndrome weekend. You can see we're going to be playing with a stall front. The high's going to try to build in again, but the front is just going to get hung up, and it looks like it tries to redevelop off the Atlantic there. So I don't know what the hell that's about. But this is really, the weather is really just extremely screwed up, and you can see we're just staying in this stall front pattern for the right into June. Right into June. This is some of the longest stall front syndrome I've ever seen in my life. If we go ahead and we look at the thermodynamics, let's put that on. We'll do the temperature anomaly. You'll be able to see where the front is just by looking at that. So, again, we're going to be above normal, too. Above normal, above normal. Oh, let me move this back down here. Start that over here. Above normal, above normal, above normal, above normal. A little bit below normal there. And that's going to probably be due to the stall front and the easterly flow keeping us in the clouds. You can see there's a nice cool air push over from Canada. Do we get into it? Probably not, because it's going to be stalled out. We'll have to see what's going to happen with that, if we can get into that drier air there. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Dew point. We'll look at the dew point forecast, too, from the GFS. It's the only model I'm going to look at right now, because I'm kind of just looking at long range. You can see there's the ridge. There's all that humidity. You can really see the dew point actually shows up really well where all the tropical air is. Look, it's going all the way up the cat. This tropical air should not be here. It should not be here. It should not be here. It should be in the tropics, down in Florida in the south. It shouldn't be coming up this far north. It's not normal. It's because of the ridge over here due to climate change. All right? It's all because the oceans are warmer. It's more water vapor in the air. Yeah, dumbass, figure it out, you know? You know, that's what's going on. There are people who want to bury their heads. Oh, my God, look at the dew point near 80. Some of these areas in the Midwest. Oh, my God, this is crazy. So you see the dry air in Canada. I mean, you really, you know, folks, if you like the cool weather, if you want the climate we used to have, go move to Canada, because that's where it is now. All right? That's where you got to live in Canada, Montreal. You won't have to deal with this disgusting air. All right? So, see, it's trying to, dry air is trying to move in, but it's just awful. Just an awful pattern. The stall front, you can see where it is. This is not normal. This is not normal. You shouldn't have humidity like this in May. This is not normal. Why isn't anyone talking about this? Why? Where is the media? Where is the weather person? Why aren't the weather people talking about it? Is that paid off by big oil not to? That's why. All right, we're actually going to look at a new feature on the Tropical Tidbits page. Check it out. They got some satellite imagery now. I just want to show you the satellite imagery here. So, see, you got some nice air mass up here. But we've got this stupid ridge, and you can see the tropical feed just coming right out of the tropic all the way up the east coast. Luckily, it's trying to be pushed back a little bit for us in the northeast, but you can see there's going to be some heavy rains. And the folks in Baltimore, in Endicott City, that city got wiped out by another flash flood, supposedly once in a 100-year flash flood that happened. It only happened 2 years ago or something like that. This is all due to climate change, folks. This is what's going on. We have more moisture in the air. Really elementary physics. We have more carbon dioxide in the air emitted by our big, huge SUVs and pickup trucks, and that's getting absorbed by the oceans, which are increasing in temperature. And there's more water vapor evaporating into the air, so you have more clouds, more humidity. I mean, come on. It's so simple. How can anyone not know this? Look at this map. I mean, this is a mess here. The weather. This is a freaking mess. Look at all this moisture just coming. This moisture shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be here. It's due to climate change. It's not normal. So lastly, I'm just going to go over the crazy lightning that we actually had a lot of light, not in our area, but just to the south. There were a lot of thunderstorms. This was a sped up clip from May 27th in the morning of all the lightning going off in the area. And there was a lot of lightning over the UK too. Which is very unusual. Again, more moisture in the air, more storminess. That's why we're having all this unusual weather. Figure it out, people. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. We are in a climate crisis, and something needs to be done about it. It really does. It really does. We are suffering with all these disasters. I feel so bad for the people in Endicott City. Somebody lost their life there. More of these disasters are going to keep happening. When are we ever going to wake up?